Hello, friends. My name is Partybug, and I'm here to welcome you to Evolution 2017 Dark Souls Third Strike Turbo Infinite Ultimate Under Night Central X Tournament Edition, also known as From Software's Third Dark Soul, or, as you might be more familiar with it, the one Souls game that's just all the other Souls games put together. So you know what this is, and I know what this is, so why don't we just get right into it?
Yes, indeed. It is called Lothric, where the transitory lands of the Lords of Cinder converge. In venturing north, the pilgrims discover the truth of the old words. The fire fades, and the lords go without thrones. When the link of fire is threatened, the bell tolls, unearthing the old lords of Cinder from their graves. Aldrich, saint of the deep, Farron's undead legion, the Abyss Watchers. And the reclusive lord of the profaned capital. Yon the giant. Only in truth, the lords will abandon their thrones. And the unkindled will rise. Nameless, accursed undead, unfit even to be cinder. And so it is that ash seeketh embers.
So our first step, the most important step in any fighting game, is to select our character. Now first we'll need a name. And because Ash seeketh Ember, our name will be Ashy Larry. There's only a few more things on this screen we'll do. First of all, we need to make sure we look appropriately ashy. I think that'll do. And second of all, we need a gift. The gift I will be taking is the Black Firebomb, because that can be traded in for a cool rock. And then we will need a class. The class that we'll be playing as will be the Mercenary, mostly for the dex bonus, because we will need that later. And with all that done, we can start. So this is Ashy Larry's home stage, the Cemetery of Ash. And by now you may have noticed the gimmick of this Let's Play. I will be controlling the game exclusively through a fight stick. I will be doing this because I realized you only need 2 buttons to play Dark Souls. A button to attack, and a button to roll. And if you're me, you'll forget which button you've bound everything to, and have to mash buttons to find out what it is. There are also 2 main rules to this Let's Play. I'm sorry, 3. First, I will only be using fist weapons and fireballs, as you would expect from any good fighting game. Although it's pretty honest, I'll be willing to navigate menus to actually equip a fireball. But still, it's legal. Second rule, no shields. Third rule, no throws. Grabs are mad cheap. And those are the rules of Third Strike. Now, as I proceed through here, I abruptly realize that there is one thing I forgot. There is one more button that's important, and that is the button to move the camera. Because controlling a camera is hard when you only have one stick on your controller and that stick moves. I ended up binding the lock-on button to one of my buttons. So the camera will no doubt be my greatest foe through this run. But yeah, we start off with our bare fists, which don't do a lot of damage. They do enough to knock this guy out, but it's going to be a bit difficult to proceed with these. So for the most part, I'm going to be avoiding combat altogether. At least until I can pick up a decent fist weapon, which will be in 3 areas. So we've got a ways to go. You might call this first part of the Let's Play a bit of a speed run, with some occasional roadblocks. Small roadblocks, like this guy. The first match of Dark Souls Third Strike, Iudex Gundry. Iudex meaning judge in Latin, Gundry meaning walk around me to the right to win. This dude is a chump and I don't even know how he got in the bracket. I mean, he lets you get free hits on the start of the game. And what you're going to see from him is a lot of pokes, a lot of sweeping normals. Even though it looks like I have no idea what I'm doing, Ashy Larry is going to come in with those big parries and take that hard visceral damage. And that's going to be the key to winning this match. Now the thing about Gundry is, once you get the right spacing, he'll basically repeat the same attacks over and over again. Meaning that Ashy Larry can parry without worrying about any sort of reprisal. So we're going to speed up the tape here. We'll get a quick look at me slowly winnowing down Gundry's health. And now, once he gets down to half health, we take a page out of Bloodborne, and round 2 starts. Gundry's second form is something I've seen people from Dark Souls 1 and 2 backgrounds have a bit of trouble with. He's a lot more aggressive, it's a lot harder to see his openings, but there's still one trick. And that trick is, you walk to the right. You'll be alright. You can see here Ashy Larry just circling around. The only thing you really have to watch out for is that big overhead jump. But all you need to do is roll at the right time and you'll be safe. And then probably lock on again because you lost your targeting because you're playing on a stick like an idiot. It's probably worth noting that Gundry's second form can be parried, but there's only one or two very specific attacks that you can do it to. And it's when he swings the halberd, and those are actually a bit more difficult to time, which is why you're seeing me going in here and just beating him to death, slowly massacring him with my fists. And then we'll slow it down for the finale. 1, 2, and Iudex Gundry is out of the bracket! Easy does it. I was actually pretty surprised it was just a one and done on this one. Usually it takes a try or two. But you're rewarded with the first bonfire, which you will probably never come back to. And now that Gundry's gone, we can proceed on further into the untended graves. Unfortunately, there's not a lot here we want. There's a glowy on the left that has a broken sword. And there's a few guys just lying around. But we don't have time for casuals right now. What's important here is this. Seem familiar? Probably. This lady not so much, but we'll talk to her in a little bit. For now, it's time to rest.